Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
Alright, in this video I'll give you my journey from not being able to walk even 50 meters to how I was able to run, walk, jog 48 kilometers barefoot. Barefoot means without shoes, without socks, without slippers, nothing, just barefoot. Okay, and the principles that I share with you in this video, you can use it even in your business life, even in your life as an employee, anywhere, because the principles are fundamental. So watch this video and let me know your thoughts. Okay, now to give you an idea where I was, this is at the age of I think 36. Since the age of 16, I went to the gym. I was lifting heavy weights, and I was also trying powerlifting. Powerlifting is where you take the heaviest weight you can do for 1 or 3 to 1 single reps. Okay, and you don't do machine, you do free weights. So squatting, sitting and standing, I could manage 225 kilos. This is the best. Deadlift, lifting the weight off the ground, 185, and leg press, that is a machine movement. I was able to do 310 kilos. Okay, so my bench for chest was pretty weak, but my legs were very, very strong. But the problem was, because I took steroids, I was able to push more weights, but then I was not doing naturally what my body could handle. I was doing far beyond it. So the day I stopped bodybuilding, all the pain and the problems started to come. And also, you need to understand, I was eating 4 people's meals per day. It's like my food protocol was so bad. From the second I would wake up in the morning, I was busy stuffing my face with chocolates, ice creams, carbohydrates, sweet bread, this, that. Oh, amount of nonsense and rubbish I was eating. A full day, whole day I was eating. I just love to eat food. Eat food and do weights, eat food and do weights, and steroids and whatever. Okay. So, see, the body can only handle so much. So after doing this for years and years, I ballooned up. From the time I started bodybuilding, 55 kilos, to the heaviest that I was 125 kilos. 125. I was so fat, my wife, my Thai wife, she told me, at my fattest, when I was sitting on the scooter, or whenever she wanted to give me a hug from behind, she said her hands couldn't wrap itself around my stomach. Just couldn't. My stomach was so big. Okay, I was so fat. So all this mass and all this weight and I was carrying on my body. Okay. And I'll tell you, I was not able to even walk 50 meters without huffing and puffing. I was like, I would go like that. It was bad. And okay, I had multiple health issues, from hemorrhoids where I was losing blood to, my lungs capacity for not doing exercise, my cholesterol, and everything was bad. So, just like anyone else, you reach a point where you say, okay, I'm going to start exercise, I'm going to start losing weight. Okay. At that time, I didn't know intermittent fasting, I didn't know all this protocol. I thought those days, the more exercise you did, the more weight you'd lose, which is actually wrong. But anyway, so what I decided is, I'm going to start jogging or running or walking, whatever. But for some strange reason, I decided, chal, I'll do barefoot running. Okay, means no shoes, no socks, no slippers, just go with bare feet. Now, if you're not aware, I'll tell you this much. If you have never been barefoot, try doing this. Just go outside your house. Just outside, walk with your barefoot. You will not be able to walk more than a few meters. You will be, ow, 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 ow. You will go like that. And if the temperature is slightly high, the heat you'll feel like as if you're walking on fire. Okay? Now contrast this to someone who is in the village, who doesn't have shoes, doesn't have socks, doesn't have slippers, who goes barefoot. Have you seen in the village children, small children, they run on sand and rocks and they'll just run. They'll not feel anything poke them. And even if something pokes them, it's nothing serious. They just manage. But on the other hand, people like you and me, forget going outside. You go on the beach itself, you'll feel very uncomfortable. You know, you literally feel everything under your feet. It is because your skin is not used to it. So same with me, not only my skin, my body was not used to it. And I decided, like a brave man, I'm going to go barefoot, walking, running, day one. It's so funny when I think about it. I just managed to, I think, go down the building. I just walked for, I think, 50 meters. I just crossed the road. If you don't know, I lived in UAE, Sharjah, that is Dubai, Sharjah, whatever. I lived in the city. So for me to go barefoot, there is a tarmac, the road. And the temperatures in UAE go up to nearly 50 degrees. I was not able to walk even 10 meters because it burnt my foot. And I'm not joking, huh? I got like boils and all that below my foot. Just by walking, I was like, what the hell is this? Okay, so that was day one. But not willing to give up. By the way, I had to ice my foot. I had to put a bucket of ice and water. I put my foot there. Oh, it was paining like crazy, man. Just imagine, hardly a few meters here. Okay, day one. Day two, I bandaged that area, which was anyway useless because the bandages came out, and I went again. Again, not much success, few meters. Day three, I said, I'll do it again. So I kept at it. Day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finally, after I think maybe 2 weeks or so, I was able to do around 50 meters. Okay? So great achievement. From hardly being able to go 10 steps, 50 meters. Okay. I know it sounds funny, right? You go down the building and you just walk 10 steps or 20 steps and you're tired. But I was like, I'll do it one step at a time. So after 2 weeks, it was 50 steps. Then after a month, slowly trying barefoot, 100 steps. And because I had I think I had that time Garmin watch, I was able to note down how far I was going. So slowly, 100 meters, 150, then slowly would push 200. But all the while my knees were paining, my lower back was paining. It was not easy, man. It was tough, It was really tough for me. So 200 meters and slowly 300 and then finally half a kilometer. Oh, what an achievement. I was so happy. Half a kilometer. Means 250 and 250 back. Because I have to come back home. Okay. So when I started to do 1 kilometer, I thought I was doing a big thing. Because for a guy who's hardly could do 10 steps, 1 kilometer sounds like a big thing, no? So I used to do every day 1 kilometer, thinking like I'm the ultimate what? Ultimate blubber, fat guy walking. Okay. Until one day, I saw one guy jogging, kind of jogging, slow jog, slow run. in the opposite direction, and he had a very slim toned figure. So I was like, and I forgot to tell you this. I was thinking no end of myself, so I bought tights, I bought a pouch, I bought headphones, I bought a watch, I bought a gear at the top, bought a bandana. I thought I was the ultimate. Like, your money you spend, you think you're super cool. Like, think of a guy in the gym whose body looks crap, but the stuff that he's wearing is like overly priced. And then they'll bring a overly priced water bottle, overly priced gym bag, and you'll begin to think like, wow, the amount of money he has spent for all this. If only he could do the exercise. I was like that. So I was under the false illusion, the pretense that I was the ultimate. Okay, happens to all of us. So finally what happened was, as I was running, I saw this guy coming. And, lo and behold, I thought, okay, I anyway do it alone. Might as well try with him. I'll have some company. So he's walking the opposite direction, jogging. So I just say, hi, how are you? And he also had his headphones. He said, yes. So I said, hey, you're going jogging, walking, what? Can I join you? He said, yeah, sure, man. Come. So he was like, okay. So I started going with him. If I remember well, his name is Rajesh Daryani. Okay. So as we were going, obviously he was more fitter than me, but he went slow just to accommodate. I tried my level best. I couldn't maintain that. Finally, because my distance was very small, I finally managed to, reach the starting point from where I started nearly. And I told him, okay, I'm done. Oh, it must have been hardly a few minutes, yeah. But this guy, he didn't make fun of me. He didn't make fun of me or anything. He kept walking in between to accommodate my pace. And finally he told me, see, we have this runners club, Sharjah Bohera Striders. Okay, that time the name was not there. He was a Sharjah Runners. He said, why don't you join in? And I said, I'm not a professional runner. No. He said, just for people who like to run, you can do half a kilometer, you can do 1 kilometer. So I was like, yeah, 1 kilometer I can do. So I was like, yeah, that I can do. Because by the time I was able to run 1 kilometer, little did I know that these guys were actually doing 21 to even 40 kilometers sometimes. Huh? I didn't know that. Stupidity, Mine. Okay. So on the day, I was very excited to finally join a group because I needed support. So on the day that he appointed, I think it was Friday, when I came there, decked up, actually I looked like a fat walrus because I was wearing full tights, and that was not the appropriate outfit, by the way. I didn't know what to wear. I didn't know there were gym clothes. Running gear. I didn't know you have to wear loose fitting t-shirts. I didn't know you had to wear, there's a particular shorts that comes for running. I didn't know there were particular socks. I didn't know there were particular shoes. I didn't know any of it, even the nutrition, nothing I knew. Okay. That is why coaching take professional coaching comes in the way. Because for 6 years, I never knew all this was important. And this is a later story, which I've already made a video long ago. But the progress that I did after this, like 6 years, I was able to beat all of it and more only by professional coaching. That is another story, which I did it in 6 months. Okay, coming back to this story. So I came there looking like a fat, tubby walrus, but I thought I was looking like the ultimate. Sunglasses, the sports one, colorful one, and headphones. And I saw all of them, runners, all dressed up like runners. Very short shorts, running top. And they said, okay, we'll go one round. One round was around 7 kilometers. The minute they said one round, I was like, oh, bloody hell, I can't do one round. So he looking at me, he knew that I was a new member. He welcomed me. He said, you don't have to do one round. You can do at a slow pace. We will be there to support you. So I was a little glad. And he said, like you, Loy, there are some newcomers. There were 2-3, oversized ladies. So So I had to do my exercise, my running with them. So managed my 1 kilometer slowly, embarrassingly. They were walking, they were actually walking, and I tried my jogging, whatever. It was the same. Okay. So from there, slowly my ability improved. 1 kilometer, went to 1.5, went to 2, okay, went to 3. This took a couple of months. Finally, I was able to do one full round of that area. It is like a complete circle. There's a man-made lake. Okay, you can Google search Kanat Al Kasbah, Qanath. Sharjah Buhaira, Sharjah, Sharjah, Buheria. Check in Google Maps. You'll see it is like a man-made lake, and there is this massive bridge. So if you go the whole round with the Gold Souk, one of the landmarks, it's 7 kilometers. So I was able to do 7 kilometers. I thought it was a great achievement. Until one day, this guy, the same Rajesh, he said, Loy, why don't you join us? We are preparing for the half marathon, 21 kilometers. Why don't you join us? And I was like, no, I can't do 21. What rubbish? I can only do, before I could only do half a kilometer, now I can do 7. No, he said, see Loy, we all started off at 0. We could hardly do 100 meters. Today, all of us are doing 21, 30, even 42 kilometers. But I said, I don't know how. He said, don't worry, we'll teach you. We'll train you. So I was like, okay, fine. And mind you, these were not professional coaches. These were just normal people, but with good knowledge. So I said, fine. But I was not too sure. So because I was skeptical, there was another gentleman who turned out to be an amazing human being and a friend who I really respected. I can make a separate video about him. Indian guy who reached the top status in terms of the Indian Army. If you are interested, just let me know. His name is Captain Rajan. A small guy, short guy, but he occupied one of the most powerful positions in Sharjah, where the government body was held. He was so humble, I didn't even know what his accomplishments were. He was a very simple guy. I thought he was a simple, he would work for $1,000 job. Stupid, ignorant me. He was the most powerful guy. He was reporting directly, being an Indian, he was reporting directly to the ruler of Sharjah, because he was controlling one of the most powerful positions in the entire Middle East. That was no Indian, as far as until that day, I don't know, even today, no Indian has occupied the position of being the main guy for the seaport. It's a very powerful position, very, very powerful, because stuff comes in, goes out. That's why you report directly to the ruler, import, export, all that. So he was at that position, only guy. Rest, all other people in that position are either Emirati, means locals, or they'll be Emirati plus British or some white guy. But he being Indian, he was at the top helm. Simple guy, very simple. So when I talk about it, I feel ashamed because he was that humble. He said, Loy, you can do it. Don't worry. I'll train with you. Little did I know what an honor it was that almost like a CEO of a company, the most accomplished Indian who has achieved the laurels in the Indian Army, who was presented in front of, I think, the Prime Minister or President of India. This guy. And by the way, he would eat only one meal a day, vegetarian. And every single day, I think he would run like 10, 20 or even 30 kilometers. Crazy, like a military Spartan regiment. Very humble, very soft-spoken. Okay. I didn't know all this. I said, okay, fine. He said, Loy, let me break it down for you. One day when he was, I used to train with the group and I used to train alone also. So when I was doing my runs with him, he would run slowly with me, And then how he would do is, because he was faster than me, he would sprint right up to the end like one and come back. And then he would go slowly with me. Then he would sprint and come back. Like he would do this like 20, 30 times. So he was actually much more. And mind you, he is 50 plus, huh? I was in my 30s. He's 50 plus, more healthy than me. Hardly, I think, 50 kilos or something. Okay. So one fine day, he gave me this amazing logical recipe for success. And he told me, see, Loy, you want to do 21 kilometers, right? That's your goal. I said, yeah. So he said, this is how you break down your goal. Okay. So 21 kilometers is your goal. And you should give it 1 year. Okay. So 21 kilometers in 12 months. Correct? I said, yeah. And he was telling me this when we were slow running. So 21 kilometers in 12 months. So that means in 6 months, you should do half of 21. That means 10 kilometers. So I said, yeah, that makes sense. So half of 21 is 10. So in 6 months, I should do 10 kilometers. Then he said, if you break that down into again half, you should be able to do in 3 months. So from 6 months, you go to 3 months, you should be able to do 5 kilometers. I said, yeah, it makes sense, half of that. Then said, if you break it down half again, so see, 12 months, 6 months, 3 months. So Loy, if you check 1 month, okay, this 10 kilometers, you should be able to do approximately 3 kilometers in 1 month. I said, yeah, that's more or less like it. So let's divide it. 3 months, right? Do first month 1 kilometer, second month 2 kilometers, third month 3 kilometers. So then you will be 3 months, 3 kilometers. Then that's how you progress. So it made logical sense, because he kept dividing the goal. 12 months, 6 months, 3 months, 21 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 5 kilometers, and then 1 kilometer. So with that kind of target in mind, I started training. There was no complications, nothing. And he would constantly push me because he was running with me. And lo and behold, I didn't break any records or anything. I was the slowest runner because remember, I was running barefoot. No shoes, no socks, no nothing. I did complete my first half marathon. I was the last guy, by the way. Last guy to finish because I was hardly walking. I wore, the shorts and all that. I'll see if I can show you the photograph. The only other guy after me was a guy who was with crutches. I'm not joking. He was actually completing the half marathon with crutches. And I just raced him. It was that bad. But I was doing barefoot and I was very happy. So now came the 48 kilometers that I told you, right? 48 kilometers, I didn't tell him that I would do it, nor did I know I would do it. I decided to take the challenge on myself. And every week, I would challenge myself to go beyond what was my comfort zone. So from 21 kilometers, slowly went to 25, slowly went to 28, then slowly went to 30, then 35. And once I reached 35, I said, let me do the maximum. So from almost like Ajman, okay, all the way to Burj Al Arab, that is, the distance is approximately 48 kilometers. Disclaimer, I did not do it non-stop, neither did I do it running. I did it starting at late in the evening, and I did it with that time my Filipina girlfriend, who was also a runner and triathlon, this thing. She was more fit than I was. So she would accompany me, but I would keep making pit stops to eat food. Can you believe? Seriously, I would stop at every convenience store and keep munching chocolates and juice and Red Bull and chicken nuggets, and I don't know what the hell was I doing here. But I was able to complete 48 kilometers. By the time I finished 48 kilometers barefoot, I was dead. I was dead. Exhausted. My knees were paining. My ankles were paining. My muscles were paining. My back was paining. Everything was paining. And then, obviously, I had to take a cab and, I went to her place. Because obviously, she was my girlfriend that time. So I completed the 48 kilometers. Now, minus all the girlfriend and all the extramarital cheating that I did, I was married, by the way. What are the lessons that I want to leave with you? Or what are the lessons that life lessons or tips that I want to share with you? I'm pretty sure you know what I'm going to say, but here is what I want to leave you with. Number one is, first you need to make a decision to change. Okay. The decision to change was, okay, I'm not doing any exercise. I will do some exercise. And by some, I clearly defined it as barefoot walking, barefoot running, whatever. Okay, that was my first goal. And the second one was, once I decided the goal, I didn't sit and plan. I didn't know what I was doing. I decided to take action. Remember, just having a plan or an idea is pointless. You need to take action. And so I took action. Now, was it easy? No. Totally uncomfortable. Was it painful? Damn, yes. Did I fail? Absolutely. Okay. But every day was a small step. The next point number 3 is, as you are dedicated and focused, make it a habit to be consistent. I made it a point, even if I had boils, even if my leg was paining, every day I would do a little bit. Progress was very slow. I didn't stop. So consistency. Point number 4 is, when you are at a goal, you will see people who are better than you. You'll see people with more skills, more experience. Then reach out and ask for help or guidance. That's exactly what I did. I saw this guy running, walking, whatever. I reached out to him and casually spoke, and next thing I know, he was able to help me and guide me. Then next point number 6, don't mind the numbers, I think I'll go all over the place. The next point was, once I met the group, you notice I told you, I was wearing clothes which are totally inappropriate for running. I was wearing a full body compression tight and full leg sleeve tight. And I quickly realized that's not appropriate. That's not the right outfit. You need to let the skin breathe. You need to allow air. So you need to wear those thin, which quickly dry, very thin. If you see marathon runners, they wear the top and the shorts are super short, and the shoes and socks, all that I came to know from them. So when you meet people better than you, you will find out what you're doing wrong and what you need to correct. Then comes pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. So I was doing it 1 kilometer, then I moved to 2, then 3. And which comes to the next one, how was I able to gauge? Because I kept notes. I had a watch. I could measure my progress. So when you're having a goal, make sure that you know what is the progress or lack thereof. Write down notes, know the numbers. Otherwise, if you say some improvement, some is what? You need to know the fixed number of reps, or if you have a goal in terms of revenue or number of clients, you have a fixed number to beat. Numbers never lie, they say. The next point after that is, this one I didn't want to do, but he gave it to me. And that was, have a big, hairy, audacious goal. It's called, the acronym is BHAG. Big, hairy, audacious goal. So I had a massive goal. That was the 21 kilometers. And it was not, obviously it was not selected by me. It was selected by this runner. Okay, the senior most guy. So he told me, why don't you try that? I was like, okay, fine. I didn't believe I could do it. But I said, I'll give it a try. I'll give it a shot. So I did get out of my comfort zone and give myself a BHAG bag. Point number 8, I think. Get yourself a dedicated mentor. Thanks to Captain Rajan, I was able to have someone with experience. He was 1,000 times better than me, but his experience helped me get better and better. And then point number 9 is you need to have an intelligent, realistic measure. See, 1 year, 6 months, 3 months, 1 month. He broke down the goals. And even 1 month, 4 weeks, he further subdivided that 1 kilometer. First you do 250 meters, then you do 500, then you do 750, then you do 1 kilometer. So 4 weeks. So when you are able to measure every single day the progress, you will achieve your goal. So point number 10 is, when I did attempt the goal finally, the 21 kilometers, I was the last guy. I told you, it was pretty embarrassing that I finished being a full able-bodied person. The person who I overtook was a guy with crutches. I could feel ashamed about it, but that didn't matter. See, there are people with different levels of competence, skill, experience. You just compare yourself to you. If I compared myself to most of the runners, I should have felt ashamed. But because I compared me to me, it showed improvement. Then point number 11 is, don't mind the numbers, I don't know, must be all over the place. Point number 11 is, once you finish your goal, the question is, what is next? Are you going to just lay back? You can do that. You can be happy doing 20. I could have been happy doing 21. I decided to see how far can I push myself? How far can I take it? What is the maximum I can do? And so I decided I'll try beyond 21. And step by step, every day, I would, every week, 21, 25, then maybe I'd be stuck, then 27. So slow progression. In bodybuilding, they call it progressive overload. Then point number 12 is, as you keep going, then one day attempt something that you never dared to dream. So I said I'll do from Ajman all the way till Burj Al Arab. I didn't know if I was able to do that. But I also took a friend, which can be point number 13. Have someone, if you can't do it alone, take help or assistance. Now, obviously, I'm not going to encourage you to have an extramarital affair, or cheat on your wife, or eat when you are running. Can you believe I was eating McNuggets when walking? Shouldn't do that. So anyway, I did my 48 kilometers. And the last point that I can give you from all this is, after you finish, let's say you've completed your goal, then the question is, how can I improve and get better? Now, obviously, you can't keep going further and further, 48, 50. There are people who do endurance, who do 100, 200 miles, not kilometers, miles. So those are ultra runners. Now, for me, I don't think I would have been able to, definitely not, with my limitations those days. And today, anyway, I'm retired. But had I proper coaching, which I didn't get until that time, that was a big mistake, which I'll make another video on. How, without coaching, how I started decline. But with coaching, I achieved, which I never did in my entire life. I was even faster than my younger days. And remember, this is from the same guy who had both damaged knees and a damaged lower back. Okay, I could hardly walk. So finally, the last point that I'll leave you with is, you need to ask yourself, what's next? Okay, you need to be very clear. And my goal was to run faster. I was very specific. Run faster, complete the half marathon in a faster time than go longer. And yes, that led me to a rabbit hole of understanding nutrition, understanding exercise, cross training, why supplementation is important, why coaching is important, why planned training, rest. Oh, so many things. One day, why you should run one day long but slow. One day you should run medium pace at a medium distance. And one day why you should run long distance. Long distance slow, medium, and short distance but really fast. So, and plus exercise, yoga, stretching. So that's a different story for a different video. So, if you use these principles, whether in your exercise or any area of your life, if you really follow these few these values that I shared with you, I'm telling you, you will improve, man. You will improve, you will get better. Okay, and you will achieve your goal. It's not that you will not. But remember, these principles that I shared, all of them are important, not one or few. Like, for example, consistency. Very, very important. It sounds like a very simple word. Hey, doggy, who are you? Look at this dog, wearing pink. I don't know if you can see it. See? Looks like a cute, ferocious in pink. Hey, doggy. Eats a lot. To feed it like a, I don't know, and too much maintenance. Anyway. So yeah, so let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Were you able to relate to what I said? Do you think this added any value? And yeah, would you like videos like these? Like where I share with you an actual true story and, the values that you can learn from it. So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And I can assure you this, you follow some of the strategies and you do it consistently, you will see results. Okay? Alright, anyway, good, bad, ugly, feel free, comment down below. This is me signing off. Ciao guys.